Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This video is brought to you by First Detachment Nutrition. Battle tested, expert formulated. Use discount code AB10 at checkout for 10% off. Once you start, you won't stop. This is a question I get asked often. Should I use steroids? And that's the answer that I give everybody that asks me. Once you start, you won't stop. It's a slippery slope. It's like getting bit by the vampire. Once you're a vampire forever. And we're going to talk about that in just 1 second. Should I use steroids, HGH, PEDs? I'm going to assume that most of you that are watching this video have already taken the leap, gone to the dark side, and are already using steroids and PEDs. Now, there are some of you that probably have not. For those of you that have already said, fuck it, I'm doing it, you can just skip this one. Say, adios, motherfucker, you don't need to give me the lecture. For the rest of you, I'm going to give you the lecture right now that I give everybody who asks me, should I use steroids? First and foremost, do steroids work? Yes, they do. And I'll tell you this, they are fucking awesome. I'm not trying to tempt you to the dark side and use them. They come with consequences, just like everything else. Drinking can be awesome in some contexts. If you're an alcoholic and you're drinking every day and then things get out of control, then it's not so awesome. Smoking a joint and watching a movie or playing a video game can be fucking awesome. If you're doing it all day long, every day, and it's ruining your life, it's not so awesome. So that's sort of the context with steroids and PEDs. They can get out of control, just like any other drug. Now, they aren't psychoactive, like, say, alcohol, or, for example, something like methamphetamines or something like that would be. You don't hear of guys throwing their whole life down the toilet because of testosterone, or knocking over a liquor store because of testosterone, or getting into a huge fight with their family and having an intervention and having to go to rehab over testosterone or growth hormone. That doesn't happen. So I would say in the context of illicit substances that people use in their lives, that steroids are pretty benign compared to some of this other stuff. Now, that's not to say they can't get out of control. I've seen some bodybuilders that go to a lot of extremes, put their health at jeopardy, cause their families a lot of pain because of the things that they've done and the positions they put themselves in with the risk, but it's not like alcohol or something else like that. I will tell you this, and this is the lecture that, let's say my son was of age and came to me and said, I want to be a bodybuilder and I want to use steroids. This is exactly what I would tell him. Once you open that door up, there's no going back. Everybody says they're going to do one cycle, and that never happens. Once you start, you're never going to stop. I want you to know that before you open the door up, before you start using steroids. Once you go down that path, there is no turning back. You've been bitten by the vampire. You're going to be a vampire for the rest of your life. I will say this. I did them off and on throughout my 20s and into my early 30s. I came off for about a decade, from 32 to 42, and that is very uncommon. And I'll be honest with you, life sucked without them. It did. I got fat. I got skinny fat. I actually lost something like 50 pounds and got fatter at the same time. I lost my identity. Everything that I thought I was gone. I was just some fat dad bod working an IT job. That's not who I feel like that I am inside. That's not the person that I want to manifest and who I want to be. Steroids have become an integral part of my personality, of who I am, of my identity. And you're going to have to come to terms with that if you do start using steroids. They are going to become a part of your identity. With that in mind, be warned, once you start, you're not going to stop. There are other consequences as well. If you go too crazy with them, they do take their toll on your health. I like to use the alcohol analogy here. There's a big difference between drinking a Bud Light once or twice a week or Miller Lite. I know Bud Light's not popular right now in certain circles, but let's just say a Miller Lite once or twice a week versus hammering a bottle of vodka every day. One is going to have less consequences than the other. A couple beers here and there probably aren't going to have a detrimental effect on your life. Running a little bit of testosterone and growth hormone, probably not going to be detrimental to your life. Slamming 3 grams, 4 grams, 5 grams, 6 grams of gear, dropping A-bombs, running trend 365 days a year, mashing the gas pedal all the way down until your body breaks, that will have consequences. There are very different levels of this. It is all in various shades of gray. The more you mash the gas pedal down, the more consequences there are. There's the social judgment that comes along with it. Now, it seems to be taking a turn for the better, but I remember when I was younger, you had to hide it. People would judge you. People would think you were a drug addict. They looked at you just like you were a heroin addict if they knew you took steroids. Today, it's more accepted. People are more tolerant of it. People don't get so judgy about it like they once do, but there still are. I often get the people that come to me and say, hey, you're cheating. I'm like, who am I cheating? Father Time? Who am I cheating? There's nobody I'm cheating. I'm just doing something to enhance my body. Literally, people drink, smoke, eat like shit, trash their body. Nobody judges them. But you will be judged if you take steroids. And be prepared for it. Even still, even though it's more accepted. I get comments daily on social media, people telling me what a piece of shit I am for taking steroids. Like I would never look the way I would, or I would have never accomplished the things I did without steroids. Of course not. I also wouldn't have accomplished them without hard work, dedication, fortitude to stick to something, all those things. So expect to be judged. Expect the people to look at you with a raised eyebrow. Some of it's going to be your family. You also have to consider when you go down this path, I have guys come to me all the time and say, well, I want to do this, but I don't want my wife or my girlfriend or my partner to find out about it. I'm going to hide it from them. Bad idea. You got to be upfront with them, let them know what you're doing. And if they object to it, you might want to consider your options. It's either that's not the right person for you, or if you care about them more than you care about steroids, then you need to put them first and put the steroids second. But I can tell you, hiding it from them never ends well. There's also the work aspect of it. Some people have jobs where they can't use PEDs. You might lose your job. That's another thing to consider. Like I said, once you go down that path, you have been bitten by the vampire and there is no turning back. So keep that in mind. Once you start PED use, once you start using steroids, there's no turning back. It's for good. You're not going to come off. Trust me, training without steroids fucking sucks. It absolutely sucks. Once you have been on gear and you go back to training natty, you're like, oh my God, why did I ever do this? When you start looking like a mortal again, it's like, oh my God, why am I doing this? It's very psychologically addictive. I'll say that. You get addicted to looking a certain way and feeling a certain way, and it becomes a part of your identity, and you don't want to give that up. All right, so wrapping this all up, I'm not going to be that hypocrite that tells you, no, you shouldn't. I would feel like a jackass if I did that, because I've done it. At the same time, if my kid came to me and asked me if they should do it, I would be hesitant. I wouldn't want them to go down that slippery slope. Nobody does it for just one cycle. Nobody. All right, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Please let me know if you think I'm an idiot. A lot of people think I am, but some of you don't. Although, I love each and every one of you, even if you think I am a fool. Thank you for watching. For coaching or consultations, head over to www.anabolicbodybuilding.com to book your spot today. I can help you with optimizing hormones, fat loss, muscle gain, physique, athletic performance, nutrition, and health. For more information, shoot me an email at bigp3rd@gmail.com.